Soda. Welcome to GM Doda Primary Schools. Today we are going to learn about Chapter 7 from Standard 6th. So there is a mini introduction or some few read before you can read the chapter. There is something to paras. Let's go through that. Has you ever done? Has your best friend done something that you thought was wrong? What did you do then? Did you keep quiet and did you tell your friend what your thoughts? Read the story about two friends who had decided what was more important, friendship or enmity, or sense what is right and what is wrong. So here is Fair Play Part 1. Juman Sheikh and Algu Chaudhary were good friends. So strong was their bond of a friendship that when either of them went away from the village, the other looked after his family. Both were greatly respected in the village. Juman has an old aunt who had some property. This she transferred to him on the understanding that she would stay with him and he would look after him. The arrangement worked well for the couple of years. Then the situation changed. Juman and his family were tired of the old relative. Juman became an indifferent to her as his wife, who cooked even the little food that the old lady wanted every day. Yes, so the grid means gave unwillingly, felt angry, unhappy after giving. So the Juman's wife was not very happy to give him a little food even the lady want every day. She swallowed this insult along with her food for a few months, but patience has a limit. One day she spoke to Juma. My son, it is now obvious that I am not wanted in your house. Kindly give me the monthly allowance so that I can set up a separate kitchen. My wife knows best how to run the house. Be patient, said Juma shamelessly. This made Aunt very angry and she decided to take her case to the village panchayat. So it is a obvious thing that when you don't treat anyone and if you insult someone, it would have some few periods to tolerate. Then after the all the things have a limit. So now the Juman has crossed the limit, and the case went to the panchayat now. For many days, the old lady was seen talking to the villager, explaining her case and seeking their support. Some sympathy with her, other laughed at her, and few other advised her to make it up and her nephew and his her wife. Make it up with her nephew and his wife. At last she came to Algu Chaudhary and spoke to him. You know, Chachi Juman is my best friend. How can I go against him? Algu said, but is it right, my son, to keep mom and not say to keep mom and not say what you consider just and fair? Plead the old lady. Come to Panchayat and speak the truth, she said. Algu did not reply, but her words kept ringing in her ear. So here is something the lady told to Algu that is it fair with me that the Juman is doing like this and his wife is doing like that? But the Algu was, and so he invited him to keep in panchayat and speak for the truth. But Algu did not reply, but the words kept ringing. Ringing means like कानों में सुनाई दे रहे थे for a long time, which makes the person to think. The panchayat was held the same evening under the old banyan tree. Human stood up and said, the voice of the punch is the voice of the god. So let my aunt nominate the head punch. I will abide by her decision. So abide by means accept. The punch knows neither the friend nor enemy. What do you say? The Algu Chaudhary, the old lady announced. Fine, replied Zuman, hiding his joy over the unexpected piece of luck. Chachi, you are aware of my friendship with Juman, said Algu. I know, replied the aunt, but I also know that you will not kill your conscience for the sake of friendship. Conscience for the sake of friendship. Conscience means, just a second. Conscience means the inner sense. For the sake of friendship. God lives in the heart of the punch, and his voice is the voice of the God. And the old lady explained her case. Chuman said, Algu, you and I are the old friend. Your aunt is as dear to me as you. Now I am a punch. You and your aunt are equal for me. What you what have you to say in your defense? So here is the judge asking for a person to say in a defense. 3 years ago, began Juman. My aunt transferred her property to me. I promised to support her as long as she lived. I have done all I could. There have been a couple of quarrels between my wife and her, but I can't stop it. Now my aunt is claiming a monthly allowance from me. This is not possible. That's all I have to say. Juman was cross-examined by the Algu and others. The Algu announced, "We have gone into the matter carefully. In our opinion, Juman must pay his and the monthly allowance or else the property goes back to her." Now the two friends were seldom seen together. The bonds of friendship between them was broken. In fact, Juman and Algu enemies and wanted his revenge. Days passed and ill luck would have it. Algu Chaudhary found himself in a tight spot. One of the fine pair of a bull cart died, and he sold the other to the Shahu, a cart driver of the village. The understanding was that Shahu would pay the price of the bullock in the month's time. It so happened that the bullock died within a month. Several months after the bullock death, Algu remained Shahu for the money had not paid yet. Shahu got very annoyed. "I can't pay you a penny for the rich beast you sold me. He bought us nothing but ruin. I have block used it for a month and then returned to me no money for the dead bullock," he said angrily. Algu decided to refer the case in Panchayat. For a second time in a few months, preparation for holding a Panchayat were made and other parties started meeting each other seeking for their support. So till here, the thing is that the justice was given to the Juman auntie, and now there was a problem with Algu. The panchayat was under the old banyan tree. Algu stood up and said, "The voice of the punch is the voice of the god. Let Sahu nominate the head of the punch. I will abide his decision." Sahu showed his chance and proposed the name of Juman. Algu's heart sank and he turned pale, but what could he do? The moment Juman became the head, he realized the responsibility of judge and the dignity of the office. Could he, seated in the high place, have his revenge now? He thought and thought. No, he must not allow his personal feelings to come in the way of speaking the truth and doing the justice. Both Algu and Shahu stated their case. There were cross-examined. The case was considered deeply. The Juman stood up and announced, "It is our opinion that Shahu could pay Algu the price of bullock. When Shahu bought the bullock, it okay. Opinion: Shahu should pay Algu the price of the bullock. When the Shahu bought the bullock, it suffered from no disability or disease. The death of bullock was unfortunate, but Algu cannot be blamed for it. Algu could not contain his feeling. He stood up and said loudly over and over again, 'Victory of Panchayat. This justice God lives in the voice of the punch.'" So here the case was deeply studied by the Juman, and finally he gave the correct decision, or he was with the truth, that it was not the fault of the Algu that the bullock died. It was the misfortune. Soon after, Juman came to Algu, embraced him and said, "Since the last panchayat I have become your enemy. Today I realize what it meant to be a punch. A punch has a no friend, no enemy. He knows only justice. Let no one deviates from the path of justice and truth of friendship." And Algu embraced his friend and wept, and his tear washed away all the dirt and misunderstanding between them. So the scenario in the chapter is this: however is your friendship relations, etc., you must be always be on the side of the truth and justice. When it is the person, or you are the person to take a decision, you must take the decision in the favor of truth and justice every time, not in the sentiments, emotions, dramas, everything. You must keep justice with a truth, not with a emotions or a feelings with a friendship, etc. So I hope all your students understood from this chapter that the thing is right is for a truth and justice in a friendship, not just in emotions. So thank you student, I hope all you understood this chapter, and if any doubt we'll be resolving at school reopens. Thank you.